Thanks for joining, Shayna. We're looking forward to having you too. For the other people who are joining shortly, hopefully you guys can hear me. I am talking to you guys straight from my car. So if you guys do see or have any questions, I'll pop in and out on the screen, but mainly want you to focus on the presentation. And I want you guys to build a reliable nonprofit board. So the information for me it's the information for me. So the next step, guys, I want you guys to remember that we have to have a nonprofit that we're using. So I actually own a nonprofit called Step 123 Mentor for Life Initiative. And as you can see at the top, there is our logo. So if you ever get confused or you want to know how I know all of this information and where did I learn all of this, it's because of doing it in my own nonprofit. And I'm going to teach you some skills that you need to be able to identify not only reliable people, but people that will actually make your nonprofit look good. And we'll talk about people that have made our nonprofit look good and what the people say about what they're looking for when they're looking at your nonprofit and trying to decide whether or not they want to invest. Okay? So let's get started. First thing, guys, I know the problems that you're experiencing, okay? You usually have ineffective board members. I want you to be able to learn how effective recruitment of nonprofit board members can lead to sustainability. A lot of times you recruit people that you might not actually want on the board. And I'll tell you why in a second. Community partnerships that work for you. Now, this is a small part, right? Because you can just easily not work with people, right? But there are some red flags for people in the community and board members. And the one thing that I like to operate behind is using a contract. If you don't get anything else out of this presentation, please develop a contract for not only your board members, but for your community partners to sign and say that they agree to certain things, maybe expectations and responsibilities. Maybe I expect these are the terms of our agreement. You have to get good and comfortable with people who believe in contracts and some type of guidance. And then you're not allowed to pay your board members. I don't know why people believe that nonprofits are a way for you to make money for yourself, but the entire creation of the nonprofit world for the IRS, it's not for me, is so that you don't profit off of the organization. So a lot of people think that they're going to start a nonprofit because people give money to nonprofits and then they pay the board members for the work that they do for the nonprofit. Now, there is somebody that you can pay, usually a nonprofit board of directors. They will appoint an executive director, and that person is welcome to take a salary. Now, ask me if I take a salary. Absolutely not. I want all the money and the resources to go to the cause that I care about. And so I don't take a salary for my nonprofit. Other people, they go through this process. You see the YMCAs of the world. That's not what we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about these solutions, okay? So your solutions are creating board member expectations. I set a standard for my board members that they have to donate to the organization. And it's a small standard. You can donate $1 or more, but at least $1, okay? And I started that as my intake question for people who are willing to be on my board. Would they be willing to give at least $1? And then as the years go on, I raise that number to 250. Then I raise that number to 500. Then I raise that number to 1,000, and so on and so forth. The people who were putting money into my board, into my nonprofit, were my board members and myself. And that is it when we first started. If you don't have people who are willing to put money down on your dream for a nonprofit, then you are already behind the times. Because if you guys put money down, y'all can afford to be able to have the nonprofit created. You can have it trademarked. You can have it copyrighted. You can have your documents done if you're all putting money down in the creation process. Many people don't do that. And that's okay. You also don't have clear responsibilities for the job. So, one board member, instead of having a clear role in your organization, you can weed out title chasers just by creating clear job responsibilities and expectations. So if you say that they have to be involved in one of our projects, but they don't have mentoring, or any of the other initiatives that we create, either monetarily or with their time. Those are the two options they have. They don't have the option of not doing anything. Okay, that's important for you to know. If you want to get good people, you're going to set that standard for them. Require memorandums of understanding. Big elite nonprofits of the world, but the smaller nonprofits, we don't do this. We just call somebody up and say, hey, do you want to do an event together? And we're like, yeah. And then when the money gets divvied up, who takes the money? Who accounts the money as theirs? Did you get a donation, or did the company that you worked with get the donations? Who gets what? What do you put on your records when it's time for accounting later? Especially when you're trying to legitimize how much you've been fundraising. And it doesn't seem like a big task, right? But imagine there's a $10,000 event. Who gets the $10,000? You or them? Who gets to attribute that towards their accounting? You or them? Money can't happen twice. It's not 10,000 for you and 10,000 for them. You have to have clear terms. And then of course, manage the money according to the rules governing a 501c3. If you have a nonprofit, you can even have a foundation, right? You have to set out rules for this. And for 501c3s with a board of directors, this is not like a foundation where you can afford to pay for different roles if you achieve a grant. This is for the board of directors and their roles as vice president, as treasurer, as someone who does those things. They're not supposed to get paid for the things that they do. If you want to pay your board members, you need to consider making them ex-official board members, then putting them on a board, or tell them to be members, general members. You can pay people to teach, to come in and speak, or do a service. That is an expense that the organization is going to take on. You can't pay people who are on your board to do what they've been asked to do as a board member, which is participate in your projects. You cannot. Okay, that is not how it works. And a lot of people don't think about that. Now, there are situations where board members own other companies. Okay, there is a situation where there's a conflict. A conflict that arises is that you have to let the board members know of your conflict, is that you work with that company. That company wants to work with your organization and get paid. Now, you can try to do this the good way, or you can try to do this the not so great way. A lot of people try it where this is their other source of income. They get paid because you have to pay me for the services I'm rendering. This isn't the same type of situation, and it gets very murky, and you're going to get audited if you are paying your board members at some point, and it's not going to work out as well as you think it is. You're not going to get away with it, okay? So make sure that you are very clear on governing your board according to the rules of 501c3s. If you have someone that tells you up front they're looking to make money from this, that is not the objective of a public charity. It is supposed to be public services for good. Okay? It's supposed to be for good, doing good for the community, not doing good for my pockets. Okay? If you want to make money, you start a for profit. I don't know why, but that is what people are doing. They started nonprofits to make money. You do make money, but the way that you're supposed to take that money is different. Okay? Get the right people. Okay, so this teaching series, we're going to teach you about sitting in fancy rooms, discussing business with anyone, making your future clients feel like you care, investing in brands that will pour back into you, and increase impact by quality value on your team. In order for you to sit in these fancy rooms and discuss business with anyone, you know what you need on your team? You need the right people. You can't just discuss business with anyone if you don't have advisors in those areas. And I mean, your board members should be such as a team of advisors, okay? Your clients should feel like you care because you get the people who care. You don't get people who are just there because they need something on their resume. You're getting people who care about more than the title, and investing in brands that will pour back into you, or sponsoring somebody in the community that also is so ecstatic that you're there. And that means you're thinking outside the box. You're not just going with this same community service, community development projects. And of course, increase impact by quality value on your team. When you have quality people, you get quality opportunities. I have people on my board who are masterful developers of welcome packets and intake materials, things that I'm not so great at. I've also had people on my board who are masterful in creating opportunities that are outside of the box and talking about those things and pushing the board to really consider them. I also have people that challenge what we do in order for us to grow as a board. Quality teammates means that you have the whole package. If I come and ask a question about this, I have a person for that. I have a person on the board who has a patent. I have a person on the board who has 20 plus years of healthcare experience. I have a person on the board who has 20 plus years of working in academia. I have a person on the board who's not only taught exam prep courses and things like that, but they also work in law in not only here, but in 2 states. There are different areas. There are even accountants who work with us to try to help the organizations grow and understand that kids need to understand budgeting and concerns. I work with banks. I work with anybody that wants to work in partnership and make sure that we have a stellar team. Stellar teams will get you stellar results. Okay? Red tape be gone. Board members, y'all need to write this down. Remove the red tape between the members or the leaders and the people they serve. Okay? They make the direct appeal to the customer or the client by showing the face and the story of why they started the business to stakeholders. People in the community, donors want to know where their money is going and they want to know how this matters to you. Why are you a part of step 1, 2, 3? Is the question that most people wonder when they come and they join the nonprofit. Effective executive boards make the C suite, corporate suite, our board member seat more accessible for new ideas, top talent, diverse voices, and young leaders. I bring in people that are younger than me to be able to be successful in this organization. You have to be able to allow young and old people to have insight into how you guide the organization. I bring in advisors to me, assistants to me, and I allow them to have a direct line to be able to talk to the board. There is a mandatory 1 year service period for the nonprofit, in which case, if you do great service with us for a year, you are eligible to apply for a board of directors position. You have to prove that you want to be here, and you have to prove that this organization is something that you can prioritize in your top 10 of the day. We allow for people to join the organization, be with us for a year, work on our projects, and if you want leadership, we have that. If you want opportunities for independent contractors, you got that. If you want to be able to express a new idea or project, we got that. The reason why boards really work, especially our board, is you got to look at it differently. This is a place where you want people to want to be. Nobody likes red tape. Every other organization that works with the red tape, and you can only talk to the board members. If I say you can talk to the board members, all of those organizations are why people look for nonprofits in the first place to give back their time to. They're not trying to come and be a part of something that's just like that again. They want to innovate, they want to create, they want to pour into people. So if you got red tape at your organization and you make it difficult for the younger people or the new members to reach your top leadership staff, you will have a lot of difficulty recruiting board members that want to stay and board members that will stay and be involved whenever you ask or need them. My board members and ex board members, my ex officio members, they still are doing their mentoring opportunities, coming back to teach, coming back to help the students because they care. Your board members can only do that. Remove the red tape and stop making this so difficult because of this leadership idea you have in your head. Okay. The next thing, these are the magic board numbers. Okay. Change agents. You see how I only have one change agent. Change agents are people that not only make things happen or think things out, but they are the inclusive leaders of the team. The reason why is every board needs one. They're the ones still at the office coming up with new ideas and ways to make stuff that people told them years ago happen. Okay. Every board can't have multiple change agents because every change agent has a different way of looking at the leadership role. So there's a person that you designate as your CEO, your chief executive officer. Now, if you are a founder of a nonprofit and that is not you need to remove yourself out that seat and give it to somebody who can lead the organization the way you want. But if it is you, know that your role is tough, okay? And it can sometimes feel like you're the figurehead of what is going on because your role as a change agent is that you are the face of the organization. You are who everybody sees, you are who everybody writes about. But the reason why it works is because you have innovators and implementers on your team. Okay, they make the connections you need, the sponsors, the teamwork, the strategic planning. They are allowing you to have space for one, ideas to take place and things to get done. Okay, people need new ideas, people need new concepts, people need people who like to do research. Okay, innovators are researchers or creators. They create new things that we need. Implementers are people who show up when you tell them to come to work. Okay? Those are the people that you need on your team. People who going to show up, people who going to come up with stuff to do and create it for you, and then people who have a vision for where you guys are going. Okay? I have 5 board members. Okay? I'm just letting y'all know. So that's the reason why this number is 5. But I do believe that even if you have 3 people, you need one in each category: an innovator, an implementer, and a change agent. And in Birmingham, Alabama, or in Alabama, you need 3 people to start up a corporation, which will become a nonprofit. So remember, you need innovators, you need implementers, and change agents. But that number for change agents for me is always one. If you have too many change agents, which is too many Indian chiefs, you will quickly find that y'all cannot find a direction because nobody knows the vision for the company. Okay? So keep that in mind. Okay? As you're growing, you have to know that. Now, I want to check in with you guys and see the potential for impact. So right now I'm going to take some time and ask everybody, where are you guys from? Where is everybody from? I'm from the South, from Birmingham, Alabama, the Southern region. I have gone a lot of different places, definitely not all the places on this map. But I will tell you what's important about this map in a second. The more important thing for me is why do y'all want a nonprofit? Why do y'all want a board? Why do you need a team of people? If you can figure out your rallying cry, that will determine your potential for impact. I'm telling you, there are people around the world that want to help you. There are people in Iceland, okay? There are people in Europe. There are even people in Russia and India and China and Japan and Australia, Africa, South Africa, North America, South America, all of the Americas, and Canada and beyond. There are people that want to help you, okay? And you have to stop thinking that your board member recruitment needs to be in your city. Now, most of the people on my board, because I learned that it was good to have a central beginning and a national outreach, are in Alabama, with the exception of one board member that is international in Japan, but they are normally located in California. The goal is to have somebody on the East Coast, the West Coast, North, and South of you. okay, and then expand out to Canada, to Mexico, down to South America, and expand. This is how we expanded. I have somebody up in Maryland. I have someone here in Alabama. I have people that are from California. I have people that are in South Africa. I have people in Japan. I even have connections as far as Europe, India, and beyond. Okay. Connections need to be global so you can have a global impact. National reach is good, but I want you to start thinking about the potential for impact. You at least need 3 people in the state in which you're incorporated, which is why a majority of my board is here in Alabama. Okay. But you have the potential to bring in the best and brightest minds of their time. And you got to go outside of your comfort zone. Go to conferences virtually in these different countries. Look for people from different countries. Ask about different countries in your recruitment process. This is important because you want global impact. I want global impact. But nonprofits do well, the ones that are well known, when they have global impact. So you need to be thinking with board members who not only want to see people in a boardroom, but they do want to hop on a Zoom call and connect or join WhatsApp in order for us to make the connection with people in South Africa. They have to be willing to break barriers. And there are some barriers to connecting with the world, and they can be solved by learning that we are not the only people out there, okay? America is not the only place you can find board members. You can find board members all over the world. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this. My desire is to go beyond where we are now. The first 4 dots right here at the bottom of the screen in the America column. So these four are where we are, okay, as a board. But that does not mean that we are limited there. Okay, we have recruiters in South Africa, we have recruiters in Maryland, recruiters in New Jersey, we got recruiters everywhere. Okay, recruitment is key. It is what solves your board member problem. Okay. And speaking of board member problems, y'all know what I gotta do next. I gotta talk to y'all. Okay. Key traits to highlight. Okay. This is why y'all are having problems. You don't know what is good about your staff. But this is real key traits that I want to bring for y'all to understand. Speakers all brought something unique to the experience. They were vast wealths of knowledge and great staff that care about the students. Okay, they help with developing better study habits, improving peer relationships, respecting the school and the school officials while benefiting from emotional support that grows in the mentor mentee relationship. These are things that they have said about myself and my board members. I'm not telling you this to brag, but to help you understand you're looking for key traits. You're looking for people that care. You're looking for people that care. And when they care, y'all, they got these traits. I'm telling you, they got traits you want to see. Okay. So let's go a little bit further. Okay. Because we know it's problems. Okay. This sounds good. It's nice to have highlights. Okay. But sometimes y'all need to know some things. Okay. So the highlights is where you want to be. This is where we're not trying to go. Okay. This is where I find people the most. Okay. Being a board member is not about the titles. We're not in it for the titles. And if you are, you got to go. You have to leave. The title isn't even worth it. What do I get from being a titled person if I don't make meaningful impact? Okay. We have to have vision. We have to have more than just successful people on our teams. You have to know that a board member doesn't care about titles, they care about impact. Titles are nice on paper and mean nothing in real life, okay? There are very, very successful people that are not nice people to work with. I'm telling you, there are successful people that are not nice people to work with, okay? Do y'all remember the reviews y'all just saw? Do you want reviews about good people, unique experiences, great staff, dedication, ethical? You have to find people that don't care about the titles. Stop finding these elite people. We'll get into that in a second because that's a whole other PowerPoint, okay? Elite people is not what you're looking for. Okay, you're not looking for celebrities. It's nice to have celebrity endorsements, but celebrity endorsements from people who do not care about what it is that you're trying to do in this world are not going to make your nonprofit better. Okay, it's going to be clout chasing, and that's it. It's not going to serve the public good. Okay, we're going to serve the public good. So being a board member or being a board member is not about these titles. Okay, being a board is not about the pay. Okay, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Okay, life hack. Maybe you didn't know hack. Okay, paying your board members for their responsibilities as a board member can jeopardize your 501c3 status as a nonprofit. Look, if someone says, I want to make some money, I got all these skills and I'm going to bring them to the table, and, we can figure out how to leverage and do like a class. No, run, run. Okay. Y'all going to get in IRS trouble because they going to be figuring out ways to pay themselves out of this process. This is not a paycheck. Okay. If they want a paycheck, then they need to go create a for-profit business. Okay. That is what they're for. Do not allow people, and this is about leadership now, okay? Do not allow people to circumvent, okay, what the rules are for charities, because 501c3 status can be given and it can be taken away, okay? There are people who try to political leaders involved in your nonprofit. Political contributions for a public charity are not allowed or permissible, and it will jeopardize your 501c3 status. A lot of people want to make money and they know how to make money fast. Get in with the movers and shakers. Get a political person to endorse you. Get a celebrity endorsement. Get some money using a masterclass. All of that is beautiful, but none of that is actually allowed for 501c3s. So being a board member is not about the pay. And if you need to get paid, then go work for the YMCA. I did it for 9.5 years, and you can go get paid working as a leader and manager and staff at the YMCA. Okay. But if you are trying to start your own nonprofit, small business, it's not about what you're going to get paid to do. This is a passion project. I'm telling you this now. This is a passion project. If you aren't doing this as a passion project, okay, and you need money to do what it is you're doing, you didn't create the right nonprofit. Because the goal of your nonprofit is that you could do this work for free. Because you will be doing this work for free. Okay? So look for people who think about this not being a paycheck for them. The next thing, being a board is not about the appearance of diversity. Oh, they look so diverse. This is beautiful. But appearance of diversity and having someone that feels supported in your C-suite is important and different. I have been on staffs and leadership teams where when I vocalized my opinion or I stated that I disagreed with something as a Black woman, my voice was not valued. People made fun of me. They weren't listening. And there was some real change that needed to happen. Okay. We didn't need to be doing the same stuff we've been doing. We needed to change. And when I brought that to the attention of leadership, people told me, oh, that's just how it is, Nina. That's just how it is. Then when it came down to voting, I never had the vote. I couldn't get initiatives I wanted in the communities that I wanted to serve because everybody wanted to do the same old, same old. But I should be so fortunate that they picked a Black woman to run things. It doesn't mean anything if you have Black and diverse people in your boardroom and they don't have a say. and they're the minority in your room, which means that not only do they not have a say, but their vote is not a vote that comes up unless y'all all fundamentally disagree. And that's not necessarily the best sports to have. Having different opinions, different ideas challenges your board to not only meet its goals, but exceed its impact. So the appearance of diversity is just not going to work. So if you got boards and you're looking at them and you're like, dang, we haven't done anything innovative in years, I'm talking to you. Okay? Because of being a board, that's not what this is about. We're not just trying to look diverse. We're going to be diverse in our impact. Okay? The next thing, being a board is not about being agreeable or saying yes to anything. You know who experiences not being able to say no the most? I'm just look at the picture. What y'all see in this? Who gets the you can't say no or you're always disagreeing the most feedback? But I have been on many a conference call with many men using the same pushback, being called bosses. Women are necessary on your board, and disagreeable women at that, ones who have courage to disagree with something that is not working in your system. If they don't ever have an opinion or they just want to do what you want to do, that ain't the person for your board. I value and I am saddened sometimes when I find that people don't want to express what they really think and they just go with what I think. I am not the expert, okay? I am one person and you have so much different life experiences than me. And if you can find a hole, if you can find a solution to a problem I see that's different than what I'm suggesting, put it out there. Okay? You will end up taking on projects that miss the mark. You will end up not actually meeting the needs of the community that you serve. I need someone to tell me no. Okay? That is why, as an executive director, they are supposed to defer to the board. That is how it works. Is that what y'all do? No. Your executive director usually runs things. You ask them for permission. The board of directors is the boss. The board of directors is the boss. The executive director is the figurehead. I'm going to say this again. The board of directors makes the rules. The executive director is the figurehead. So you do not have to say yes to everything that they suggest. You also don't have to agree with everything that they suggest. And you have the power to make the rules for the nonprofit to become a better place to work at and a better thing that has much more structure than it did. Because I'm telling you, if your executive director is anything like me, I have great lofty vision sometimes, and my board of directors has to keep me on the ground. Okay. You need people who are willing to keep you on the ground when it comes to your ideas and also not be labeled as difficult. And if you got people who get mad because we can't get a vote for quorum, and that's just majority vote, y'all. If you got people who are mad because they can't get something done because this person disagrees, and you're mad at this person and you want it to be unanimous and it's not, then you have a board problem. Nobody can agree with everyone all the time, and not every idea is workable at the time. So keep that in mind and make sure your board members know. Make sure they know they are appreciated and valued, or they will leave. If they can't disagree with you and see the results, it's not worth it. Being a board is not about the ideas without the work. Some people want to come and just pitch ideas. They don't want to do no work. They just want to sit it out. Look, I brought this great idea. I don't want to do the work that comes with doing this great idea. I just want to be able to bring the idea and then leave. That's not how this works. Board member roles are usually a year, maybe 2 years or 3 year appointments. I don't know how your years work, but for your board, your idea, if we go with it, you working. You finna do this. And if your idea isn't done, idea, even if it's a great idea, even if it's not something you completely agree with. Your goal as a board member is to be able to help the board achieve its projects, its tasks, and its goals. And part of its projects, tasks, and goals is doing stuff that you suggest or that we suggest. And if we come together as a board on an event or an idea, it's still your responsibility to do the work. You can't delegate. Delegating stuff is what gets people in trouble. They hire assistants, they get somebody to run a committee, if you will. Look, if you're a board member, your goal is to do some work, okay? And if your committee or your people bring you ideas, your goal is to do the work to make it happen. It's just like having it's like having a political community to serve. Your committee, the people who bring you ideas, we're ideas people. We are not on the board. Okay? The ideas people are not the same as the people who are on the board, the directors. You have a hard task of doing the work. You can't just show up. You can't just show up. If someone gives you something to do, if someone gives you a project to tackle, you figure out what you can do to make it happen. That is your goal. It's to make it happen. The people are willing to do the work with you. But don't forsake creating ideas and telling people, oh, we definitely need to get on that type of thing if you're not willing to put that into action. If you're not willing to make the connections and leverage what you know and who you know to make the things work. Okay? Because all you have to do as a board member is call around to the network you have. That is a good skill. Okay? If you can have that skill, you need to be on the board. Because if you're good at bridging connections and making connections with people, these projects, we need help. We need community partnerships. So that's what I'm telling you. Ideas and not putting the work in place to make the ideas have a higher potential for success hold you back. I'm trying to tell you. All right. Being a board member is not about the network you have. Okay. A lot of people think that they got to know everybody. This is that celebrity thing I'm talking about. We are not looking for clout. I don't want, as much as I love Beyonce, I don't want Beyonce to be the person who endorses us if she doesn't believe in our mission. Okay, if she doesn't believe in lifelong mentorship for all students, if she doesn't want that, if she just wants to be able to say that she did something, I don't want her on the team. Okay, I love you, Beyonce. I do, girl. I do. But if that's not what she wants, then I don't want her on the team. Your network is the ability to make connections. Okay, it's not the people you know, it's who you can get to know, who you can get in front of. You are skilled. Okay, you can do great things. But most people, what they're trying to do, if they don't have a network, they trying to promote their own business. And I'm not trying to do that. This is not a publicity stunt, okay? Usually, if a celebrity joins, how often do you see them there to actually do the work, to do the promotion of the event? They don't do it. They don't show up. They show up to sign autographs. Then they go about their merry way. Okay? If you are on the board, make sure that you're not doing that. Don't show up to sign autographs. Do the work. Set up the room. Put the boxes together. Feed the homeless. Stop showing up and taking pictures. You ain't the mayor? Okay? I'm just telling you. The network you have has nothing to do with being on a board. Being on a board is not about the photo ops. Being on a board is about how you can drive change. Trying to make the organization better. What can you do? What can you do? What are your skills? And whatever those skills are, not who do you know all the time. Okay? Who do you know is only going to get us so far. We want people that see us as a meaningful change agent. Y'all remember those reviews I showed you a second ago? Meaningful, ethical, professional, dedicated. The people that you know might not be dedicated to our cause. We want people who are dedicated. So the network you have isn't going to mean much if all of them are wishy washy. Okay? So remember, put the work in. promoting your own business, which is usually what happens when you have a celebrity on the that's what they do. Okay, that's not the goal. So let's get out of that. Stop chasing people to give your business validity. You give your business, your nonprofit, validity. You don't need a celebrity to endorse you. All right, go to the next slide. Whew. So now that we got through the hard part, this is the things that I need you guys to start doing. Okay, your inner circle skills. Okay, this is what happens on boards. Okay, before you can decide if you're going to run a board, you need to decide what your self assessment is. I actually encourage you to do a SWOT analysis on yourself: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. If you do that SWOT analysis and you still feel like you should be the captain of the ship, then you're the CEO. Okay. You're the founder, the chief executive officer, and the president, all of that. That's you. That does not come with any less responsibility. It does not mean delegation. It means that you are in charge of everything, even if the rest of your board is not pulling a weight. So make sure that you don't have a temperament that gets angry or feels frustrated when people don't carry their weight. You got to be able to grin and bear it. You need an accountant, okay? Somebody that's going to do and help you understand what you're doing with your money, okay? There is never a situation on any nonprofit where you have issues that do not involve money. It is usually the misappropriation of funds. Almost every profession is the misappropriation of funds. You need a proper accountant, someone on the board. Don't just recruit a lawyer, okay? Because that's what happens. People be recruiting lawyers for nonprofit boards. Don't do that. Recruit an accountant first, and then make sure that's an accountant that can teach you and educate you on how to do this. And then a verified banker, okay? If you get donations, if you get anything, you're going to have a good working relationship with a banker. Okay, you got to call them up, you have to ask them questions, you have to figure out donations and all of that. And it's important for you to see who you can trust with your money. You notice that I only talked about 2 people in your inner circle. It's the person who manages your money and you. Y'all get it in a second. Okay, that's your inner circle for your board. Now we're going to get to the next part. These are your startup people, the people you need at startup. You notice that I did not mention the other people because there are levels to this. Okay. You need investors and sponsors. So you need somebody who's money banks. Okay. I didn't say you need somebody who's a celebrity, but you need somebody who got money. Okay. And they want to invest it in this organization. If that's you, cool. You the investor. You ain't gonna have $1 billion. You just got to have at least 500 to 1,000 to do startup stuff. Okay. You need someone who can be a mentor in this field that you're in. Okay. And you need someone that everybody on the board can trust with their feelings when things are not going right, which is a board chairperson. Okay. You need an investor. You need someone who's going to be able to help you grow, lead the organization, and you're also going to have someone who can be a confidant. This is usually found in maybe even one person. You can find this all of these skills can be found in one person. Okay. The same thing with this. Okay. All of these skills could be found in you. If that's you, great job. If not, you and one other person because you need some bankers. You need some banking assistants. Okay. The next thing that you need are team skills. You need people who are willing to do the testing. All right. Conduct a SWOT analysis on whatever you're coming up with. You need somebody who can handle the hard stuff. Maybe you need someone who's like a cheer or chaplain. Okay. Therapist is usually like a chaplain in most organizations. There's going to be some times when y'all are not going to agree, or y'all just need to do a bonding session outside of this. You need someone who reminds the team that y'all have hard stuff in your life and that you are also human beings. And of course, the fitness minded friend or somebody who can motivate you. Okay. wants to get active, get out there in the world. There is so much out there that we miss, but activity and physical activity, that is what allows us to make connections as a nonprofit board. So somebody who does a wellness check on your mental health, your physical health, whatever health, but somebody who's thinking about your wellness. Okay, those are things that if you have this on your board, I promise you, you're gonna go in like, okay, we got people who tell us where the problems are in our initiatives. We got some people that help us, and the beta testers in our organization, they're our mentors. They're the people who do our program, our training. They learn how to mentor from us. And if we are unclear or they're unclear, they ask questions. They are the beta testers. Your therapist and your fitness minded, your wellness checks, those are our mentees, our people. We have those people. So you don't necessarily have them all the time on one side of the equation. They're not just in professional offices. Sometimes your mentors are beta testers, and you might like what they do as a mentor or your volunteers. And you can even offer a young lawyers or young division on your staff as a board. You got to think about that type of stuff. Your board needs these skills, okay? Next, you need marketing skills. Somebody who can get your printing, okay? Maybe someone works at a place where they get printing for free. You need a PR team, someone who knows the formula, okay? Because I don't. You need a graphic design team, someone who can do y'all's company imagery and you guys don't have to worry so much about it and give you the analytics of that, okay? That needs to be a person on your team, okay? You also need major movers. If you're going to get to the next level, you need photographers, videographers, because your camera phone can only do it for so long. Okay. You're going to run out of space eventually. You also need a business coach. How you guys going to get to the next level if you don't know where you're going? And your business coach could also be just a lawyer, your legal rights. Your business coach could be just someone who has an experience with law, has worked with lawyers, who's worked with huge teams of people. You need someone who can help you understand the risk of your organization. Okay. That's the big movers on your team. Okay. If you got these people, then it's a little easier to run your nonprofit. Okay. And we can move into the last part. You need community partnerships. I don't know why people don't understand this, but if you have a board of people who are not thinking about community partnerships, then they are missing the point. You get more grant funding if you have more community partnerships. And you know what is really effective with community partnerships? You need them to sign a memorandum of agreement. Who gets the money after the event for deductions? And then what key demands are required for a partnership? Some people ask you to set up a bank account. I'm not doing that. Okay. There's just something about that and confusion about funds. Some people want to have their logo on the flyers, on all the flyers. That's just their terms. You need to figure out what the terms are and increase your community partnerships. Your board, if they're not thinking like this, they should. And if you're looking for reliable board members, they should be thinking about these things almost exclusively. This will change the way your board does business. Remember the things that you're not supposed to do, okay? And then also contact me, okay? I do law. That's what I do. I start nonprofits. But contact us. Let me know what's going on if you get confused and you don't know what's going on and you just want to tell me how this presentation looked and how everything was overall. Just contact me. Let me know. Did I do a good presentation? Did you enjoy this? Did you get some value? Are you ready to build a reliable nonprofit? And just tell me what you think about your nonprofit, okay? I don't want you to do anything crazy. But if you do want some help, okay, I have a special for you. It is a nonprofit board recruiting responsibilities form and expectations. That is just for staying until the end. So I had to do, a little lead up to it. But because you stayed to the end, I want to reward you, and you will have our board member expectations and responsibilities form from my nonprofit. And it's just what we sent to people that were interested in being board members. These are our rules. These are our expectations. This is what we want from you. And we told them explicitly This is what you got to sign before you can move forward. Okay? I want to see you succeed. Okay? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for me to run a business. It's not easy for you to run a business. It is very difficult, and most times nobody really tells us how to get the best people. But I can tell you that the people that you're looking for, they care about what it is that you do. They care about that kid, okay? The kid that needs the mentorship at 1 o'clock in the morning because they're in another country and they need somebody to kind of talk them through, the application process because they're freaking out. They need people who care, okay? So if you stayed until the end, if you go to that link, bit.ly/nonprofit board recruiting, you can actually go on your phone right now. You'll be able to download that directly. It is board expectations and responsibilities form, and we make that stuff readily available. If you go to step123mentor.org and you click resources, that's there. Okay, I make that stuff readily available because if you want to join my board, then you need to know what I expect from you. Okay, that's important. So if you want to do that or you really like this presentation, boom, that's your form to keep. So I don't believe in hiding the ball from you. I believe in telling you exactly what you're going to get when you got it. You came here to learn information about reliable nonprofit board members, and you left with not only what not to look for, okay? If they are like this, don't do it, but also what to look for in the people, okay? So not only are you saying what you don't want, you're also saying what you do want. And that's important because you need to know what is bad and what can really be helpful in driving your organization, a nonprofit at that, to the next level. So if that's how you feel and you feeling awesome and you on top of it, I'm proud of you because that's hard, right? Getting your board together can be difficult. But you know what? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't. And because it doesn't have to be, I want to ask you a question. A lot of people have already come to me about nonprofit stuff. And I've been really thinking, what could I do? What could I do to make it easier? What could I do to make it more accessible? Because nonprofits aren't hard for me because that's what I do. So I'm going to have a 501c3 VIP day. Okay. This VIP day is going to be a one-on-one session. I tried to do group sessions before, but I like the intimacy of one-on-one. So I'm actually going to work with at least 10 or help people who want to become a nonprofit entity work on their nonprofit papers and charity status. Okay. Usually to create bylaws and things like that, $2,500 is what I charge. Okay. But I'm going to take some money off. Okay. We are taking about $700 off that package and we're doing it for $1,800 for a full day, 4 hours of my time. It's gonna take. It won't take the entire day, but at least a full day sitting through from 10 to 2, 8 to 12, however you need it. And we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna stop delaying all of the things that you need for your board members to say yes. You need bylaws because you need something to send to your prospective board member to say, hey, do you agree to these bylaws? These bylaws is binding. Okay. And then once you achieve those bylaws being sent off to your board members, then you'll be able to find out who the directors are you're going to put in your 501c3 application. A lot of you have made it to the formation part. All right. And you just need that final push. Okay. This is an exclusive offer, and it's only if you attended today's masterclass. For the first 5 to sign up, we will even handle your nonprofit launch coverage. If you haven't been a nonprofit, my the Last brand LLC will handle that completely. And they will also do a press release with our affiliate partner for just 150 more. Okay. But if you're ready for your official 501c3, I want you to just fill out this intake form. It's bit.ly/law firm intake. That's all you have to do so that my team can have your information. We will send it off to Nina the Last Brand LLC, and we will get you in the 501c3 VIP day experience. Now, we're going to revise paperwork for bylaws. A lot of you have bylaws that you got off the internet, and that's not going to help your nonprofit, right, succeed. But we can revise them and make them better. Filling out those 501c3 applications with you Okay, we're gonna have a virtual event launch checklist. Okay, we're even gonna have board member job descriptions, email offer templates, and we're also going to talk about a training manual Trello board template so that you can make onboarding easy. We use Trello for our team. And I just want to thank you guys so much for attending today's event. I only can help 10, okay? I have a limit. I know that nonprofit work is a lifelong journey. At least for me, it is. When I do anything with a nonprofit, I think of the lifelong commitment of helping someone. So I want to take this time to connect with you and really see you reach your fullest potential. So if you want to, okay, and if you're in Alabama, okay, this is a double grade, then I can work with you. If not, at least we can get your federal stuff handled on 501c3 VIP day. Now, this price, okay, 1800. Of course, we can make a payment plan out for you, but this is only for the next 1 week. This expires a week from now. Okay. So I want you to think about it and I want you to ask yourself, am I ready to take my VIP day and get my 501c3 in gear, get all the bylaws in order so that when I have a nonprofit board, I can build it with not only certainty, but the actual truth of being a 501c3. Because your nonprofit board, it deserves that status. So you can start taking full advantage of the opportunities. And that's the top complaints I have received is that many people do not have their 501c3 status. So I just wanted to let you guys know I've created my very own 501c3 VIP day where we can work on that task together. Okay, it doesn't have to be done alone. And not only can we attack the hard things, but we can make things happen that you have never seen possible before. You're amazing. You are on top of it. You came to this session because you already want to build a team. Why not press go on the rest of your dream? You already want to build an effective nonprofit board. That means that you're already in the formation stage. Okay? We're in the last steps. And the last step you need is to get them bylaws together, that 501c3, get your templates to all great people. So I just want to let you know that everything you're doing, it's worth it. It is worth it. Well, I am so proud of you. But my internet is doing something wonky now. So just want to let you guys know. Thank you for attending this masterclass. It has been masterfully wonderful to have you. I hope you guys do attend the VIP day. Let me see something. Yeah, awesome. Gonna get all the way back here. And thank you for the Building a Reliable Nonprofit Board Masterclass. Just wanted to let you guys know you guys are a part of a team of people that will change the world, whatever your social good idea is. And don't let the idea that you don't have it all in place keep you from finding reliable, good people. People that do care about your business. I'm one of those people who care. And then there are so many other people out there who care about your business. So make sure you utilize that. And yeah, we just built a reliable nonprofit board. We did it together. And not only did we do that, we talked about so many more things. We even talked about solutions that you've been looking for a long time. So if you need more information, I want you guys to follow this link that's down at the bottom, NinaTheLastBrand.com, and let's get into some consulting. Let's get into opportunities for your business, okay? We want you to get your nonprofit board in gear, okay? And if you're in Alabama, hit them up. We form it from beginning to end, and we want you to at least tell us, hey, that was helpful, what you told me. That's all I want from you. You ain't got to do nothing else. I just want to know, was the information helpful? And if it was, let me know. That helps us grow. That helps us become the best that we can be. So Thank you so much for attending Building a Reliable Nonprofit Board, the Masterclass. Have a wonderful day.